Hello, everyone. My name is Clayton, and I'm going to be walking you through a Git and GitHub tutorial. So the first thing we're going to get started with today is installing Git and creating a GitHub account right here. So it's as simple as a few commands in the terminal. So if you're a Mac user, you're just going to, I just did that with Command Space. It opens up the Spotlight. And you're going to type in terminal. Once that opens up, I'm just going to make that bigger for you guys. It would just be, you can just do git, and then if you don't have this installed, if you have it installed, it'll say the version. If you don't have it installed, it'll prompt you to install it with Xcode command line tools. I already have it. And that just shows you the version right here. If you are not a Mac user, if you are a Linux user, you can install it with sudo apt install git all. And if you are a Windows user, there are a few ways you can work with Git. This is going to be predominantly Mac, but if you install Git with the Windows installer, you can open up a Windows Git terminal, which is different than CMD, but I believe you can start it with CMD, and that way you can still use the same Git commands that I will be showing in the video. Okay, so let's just close that. So just to refresh, sudo apt install. If you're on a different repo, you can do DNF. And if you're on Mac, it's as simple as git version. Okay, just close that. So to make a GitHub account, you can just Google GitHub, or you can use whatever search engine you like. It'll take you to GitHub, this page, this landing page, your username and email and password. Simple as that. I already have an account. I'm just going to log into that real quick. And here we go. So the first thing we're going to do coding wise is we're going to, you're going to have code, and it's a good thing I started. I have a expansive coding. Here we go. Here's my code base. It's a hello text file. It's empty. So that's going to reflect in our remote branch when we create that. All right, so this is, there's a separation between local and remote in Git, okay? So we're going to create a local Git repository, stash, whatever you want to call it, in this folder containing just this file. There is, it'll only contain the folders within and below this this current folder that we're in right now. We're in Git tutorial. That's the folder name. So it'll only include in the Git repo this hello text file, and anything like if I had another folder, you would have to add that. We'll get to that in a minute. Okay. So the first thing you're going to want to do with your code is open up a terminal. We have one over here, and we're going to navigate in the terminal to that working directory. So I'm just going to pull this into this window right here. This is a little trick. I don't know if it works on other operating systems, but if you do CD, CD is always going to be standard for navigating Linux, Unix systems. Linux works and Mac works. I believe if you're using the Git terminal, you might be able to do this on Windows. I can just drag and drop right there, and it'll take me there. But if you can't do that, you can just do CD, and your home is summarized as the tilde key. This is the tilde. You'll see it in the top left. You can shift it. And then you can do /, and if you tab, it'll show you all of your directories that are in your home directory, which would probably be either home, your username, or just your username within the users folder. So here's all the things within my home directory. I'm just going to go do what I said I was going to do, which is just drag and drop it. Cool. Can't do that. Whoops, my bad. You have to, you can't CD to a file, but you can CD to the folder. Now we're in the folder, and if I do ls, which is list, There we go, hello.txt. So now that you're in the directory, the folder of the place where you want to start version controlling your code, in our case, it's just this empty text file, but you will probably be wanting to do this for your projects. What you can do is type in, the first command you should type in is, other than git version, is git init. And this will initialize a Git repository in a hidden file in this folder, okay? So to show hidden files, the shortcut on Mac is Command, Shift, and period. So that just hides them again. This unhides them. Here is some stuff. You're not gonna need to mess with these at all. It's just to show you that you can't enter this folder. So back to our directory that we're going to be working in. It initialized a Git repository that is not connected to the repository that is available on GitHub. So we have not even begun to do that, but don't worry, we will. So we initialize the Git. Now we're going to want to add this file. So we can add individual files by typing the either the relative address by typing // dot means this current directory, / means you're accessing something within it, and we can just do hello.txt. Or since we only have one thing, or if you want to do everything, you can add the asterisk, and this adds everything. So adding is like, think of it like a multi-step process to make sure you are sending exactly what you want, right? So this add command says to Git, I want to track this file, and I'm going to be changing this file, but the changes are going to continue to change. I am going to continue to change this file over time, right? So for instance, like if I added hello to this text file, but I'm going to add something else. Right now it is added, and it will be able to see that change once I do this next command, right? This next command is called commit, git commit. So what that is doing is saying, okay, I've changed the file and I like what I have so far. I'm going to commit these changes to a, it's going to bring the changes. It's like basically putting a bookmark in the changes that you have made so far. And there are ways to pop off the changes if you made a mistake, or you can go back. That's why this is version control. Version being simply the state your code is in, right? So we had a version prior to what I just did where the hello file was empty. This next version is hello file with hello in it, okay? So we're going to commit the hello file with hello in it, and this is the git commit message. This is an associated message with the changes. So if you're doing big changes or you're adding new features, you can go back and say, oh, when I added hello to my text file, everything broke. Maybe I should undo that commit. But here we are saying added, whoops, lost the A there, hello to text file. Cool. And you're going to hit escape. And that just exits out of the, this is VI. This is another command. This is a text editor for the terminal. There's another one called VIM. There's another one called Emacs and Nano. This is just a really simple one. Tildes down here mean there's nothing there. Pound symbol means that it is commented out. So when you go online to GitHub, when we added the remote repository, you will see just this line right here, okay? So we hit escape, we're gonna hit colon, write, quit, WQ. And if you don't want to save what you did, if you want to cancel this, you can do Control C, or you can do Q, exclamation point. right? But we want to save, so we're gonna do right quit, boom, save that, it's all committed. And if you look, we have a message here, master, root commit, and then this is the message that we sent, and this is the this is just more details about what happened. One file changed, 0 insertions, 0 deletions. Okay, so since we didn't have anything in the repository and the file hasn't changed within the commit, it looks like we just added the file. So now we want to push, right? So that's the next thing you're going to do. Add, so we got init, add, commit, and push. But push to where, okay? So the where is the remote repository, and we haven't set one up yet. So if you navigate back to, let's see, GitHub, if you've created your account and you've signed in, you're going to go over to your repositories, and this is going to be your first repository if you have never made one, and it will be in the sidebar, hit new. It's gonna be your name. We can just type in whatever we want. Let's just type hello, okay? That is the name of the text file, and that is what we're gonna go with. We can make it public. No one's going to want to steal this. And here's something that is standard with all Git files, with all Git repositories, sorry, a Readme. So a Readme is the naming convention of a help file that is going to be displayed automatically by GitHub. It is a .md file, which is a Markdown file. And Markdown is another language that you might have seen. There's a lot of text editors that use it, and there's a lot of note apps that use it, like Bear or Evernote. It just means, I'll just show you. So we're gonna add one of those, and it will set main as the default branch. Okay, that is something that has changed recently. It is not master on GitHub, it is main, and that will reflect differently in the terminal. Okay, so Git Ignore is another thing. It's another hidden file, and it just says, okay, I don't want to track these changes. You know how we added? Some things are automatically added, and you can just ignore them outright, so that even if you do the add all command, it won't even add those. So, and license is something that's very nice. We can get to that later when I show you some cool repositories that I like. So we're going to create this with a README. It's public, and what we're going to do is real quick within the browser, you can actually change and edit files right here. So this is Markdown. It just allows you to do certain things with, like, you can add hashtag, which is a title, subtitle, and then it keeps on going. I think 4 is the smallest one. You're gonna put a space after the hashtag to be syntactically correct. Hello project. This is a tutorial project. Sounds simple enough, okay? And that is all we want to do. Here is the same exact thing that I did in the command line, but now it is in the website. This is a description, and this is the message that we had added. So we're just gonna say initialized remote repository. And what it's going to do is it's going to commit to the main branch. Okay, we don't need to create a new branch. We can get to that later. So to summarize branches, if you want to change part of your code, but it doesn't change what someone else might want to download from your repository, and you want to experiment without messing up other parts of your code, you just do it in a separate area so that it doesn't interfere with your hard work in your main branch. And that's called a branch. And it can be an experimental branch. It can be something for a new feature, or, it can be just you messing around trying to figure out Git. We're going to commit that change, and now it's reflected in our Git repository. If we hit refresh, it's still already there. Doesn't change, okay? There's nothing else to do. So we are now good to go with, let's go back to, we're in the README file. We can go back to the hello repository. There's a couple buttons here, but the one thing that you're going to need to know just for right now is this button right here, code. We just want this HTTPS link right here. This just takes us to our repository. It's a .git link, and if we just hit this copy icon, it'll copy to our clipboard. Okay. Now, so let's check this real quick. All right, we checked that off. We did the init add. Let's do status after. I'll just show you that real quick, and then we can push. Okay. So we have our code. We have our terminal. This is our working directory. Let's just do git status real quick. So what this is doing is it just shows you what's going on. I'm not sure if it'll say anything because we already committed, but it might say that we have a unpush commit. Yeah. So here we are on branch master. So that is the local branch. See, there's a difference from the main branch. If we go back to the website and hit this branch, we only have a main branch. Usually it would be your master branch, but since we added the Readme through GitHub, it made it a main branch. So we're just gonna have to make that distinction when we push later. Okay, so we did our status. Changes not staged for commit. Use git add to update. And these are just tips, right? So we can use git add, the file. We can use git restore to discard changes. So that's another nifty feature. But since we aren't needing to do that, we can just leave as it is. Here's an untracked file, like a .ds store. This can be added to, this would be an example of something you could add to a .git ignore. The DS store, I believe, is just a desktop file for Mac. You might see something like desktop.ini for Windows, or you might even see something like __ Mac OS X or something like that. That would be a folder. So those are all things that can be ignored, but we'll just let that be for a minute. Let's just see what's going on here. I thought that we had added our file. So let's just do git add / hello. I just hit tab right there and it autofilled because that's the only file. I'm gonna enter that. Let's, so we added that file again, git status. There we go. Changes to be committed, hello.txt. Good. Green means good. We don't need this. If it was something important, it would tell us. But since we know that it's not important, red is okay. So we're gonna do git commit again. And that just, we'll just do initial commit. Escape, :WQ. Awesome. One file change, one insertion. Let's do git status. And that is good. We now know that our file is going to be committed, or it is committed. The changes is committed, and we don't care about this .ds store. Okay. So next we're going to push. So let's just do the normal thing that anyone that you would think you would just need to do is just git push, right? But we don't know where. So we're getting an error. This is an error, fatal, no configured push destination. Okay, and Git is really forgiving. It knows that this is probably what you want to do. So here's the command that you're going to do first and then second. And we're going to need to do another command in between, but this is just the first time you ever use Git, you kind of run into these issues. And it's nice because Git, you're going to run into a lot of issues because Git is actually very usefully, but very also complicatedly complex. Okay, it has a lot of features, but they're very, very useful features. So let's just start with this one. You can copy and paste it. I'm just gonna type it because I'm used to that. Git remote add. So the name, let's just do hello. That's simple enough. I don't know if people have naming conventions. I just always went with something that was simple because you have to type it a lot sometimes. And we already copied our repository. Let me see if I still have it. Nope. because I copied something from the text file. So if you just go back, I'm just going to do this real quick. Copy again. I just click that, paste, and you'll see it is hello.git. It is not this. It is not that, right? It is close, but not hello. You need the .git, okay? So that's just something that I made that mistake before, thinking it was just a URL, but it is not. It is the GitHub clone URL. It's the URL of the repository. So once we have that, we're gonna hit enter. Git push, right? Git push hello. Git push name, same as this one. We named it hello. We're just gonna hit enter, but we run into another fatal error. The current branch master has no upstream branch. Since the branches can be different, as we just saw, the local branch, the local air quotes main branch is master. It's called master, but the remote main branch is called main. We have to link them in some way. And that's with this command, with this option on the push command, set upstream, okay? So this is going to be important. This is the name of the remote branch. And since we're not using master on the remote, we're going to change this to main, okay? Otherwise, our pushes won't reflect in the branch that we already created on GitHub. Git push hello main, okay? And we might get an error. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Git push set upstream hello main src ref spec main does not match any. All right, failed to push some refs. Let's try master and we might get a mismatch, and we can just fix that with another feature of GitHub or Git. Okay, new branch master to master, branch master set up to track remote branch master from hello. This is a summary of what is happening. So this branch master was set up to track the remote branch master from hello, which is the name that we chose up here, right there, the name right here. We also use it here, okay? So this is the local, this is the remote, okay? And we pushed it. So it actually went through. This is kind of a little status update on what's going on. And this is the size, or sorry, writing objects. Yeah, this is the size, and this is the speed. Okay, so we're going to check real quick what happened on our remote repository, which is reflected on the GitHub website. Let's just hit refresh. Yeah, looks like there's an error. So we now have the master branch, but the master branch only has our text file. So we tried, we really did, but don't worry, we'll get it. We're going to do another feature called checkout. What is going on here? I just wanted to click on main. Yeah, something's going wrong here, but don't worry. We'll just continue with this. Don't worry about it. Maybe don't initialize your MD file. There might be something wrong going on with that right now. But I just really wanted to get it through to you that this is the workflow you will be doing with GitHub. And it's very useful to track your changes. And sometimes, like the first time you're gonna mess something up, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, either I'm so glad I pushed it to Git, or oh my God, I committed everything to Git and it's wrong, or I lost everything. And that's when you're gonna do a deep search into how Git works and how to recover your work, because there is a lot of fail safes to recover your work. If you think that you've lost everything, check the Git, check Stack Overflow Git, check Git documentation, check, just Google it, you know, like really, because there are some times when I just Googled something and I got everything back and I felt super great. All right, let's pause Okay. Just unpaused, global break for a sec. I'm gonna show you guys how to do one more feature. It's the branch feature, just some easy commands for that. We're in our working directory, Git tutorial, and we've pushed our change to hello.txt to the to the master branch. Even though main is our default branch, we can fix that later. First command is git branch. Okay, git branch, and then you can type the name of your branch. Experimental. You know, we might get a little funky with this. Hitting enter creates the branch. So you can do git, I think git branch ls or list. Let's try that. Oh, I guess we made another branch. Oh no. Git list. I'm just gonna leave that git ls branch. Made a little mistake. That's okay. So let's just switch to that. So we're gonna switch to this experimental branch, not the ls branch. Let's just ignore that I did that. So git, it'll be checkout. So we're going to check out this branch, you know, make sure it's doing okay, make sure its day is going well. Check out experimental. Okay. Now it gave us a little status update. We have switched the branch to experimental. And what that means is if you have, if you made a change in your experimental branch that wasn't reflected in another branch and you check it out, it will automatically update your local files. So if your experimental branch is empty and your main branch is not, and you switch to experimental, it'll look like all of your files are gone. But you need to know that that's not true. It is still in your repository, remote repository. So all you have to do is recheck it out. You might get some errors. You'll have to resolve those. You can do git status to check, and if all else fails, well, git status will give you some tips usually. So your code is recoverable. You can pull it into a, you can clone it. Sorry, you can clone your repository into another folder. Cloning is another command to get other people's repositories, and I can show you that after with some of my favorite repos. Git tutorial. So we switched to the experimental branch. Now in our editor, let's just get really experimental, okay? World, boom. That is our change. It went from nothing to hello world in our experimental branch, okay? But this is usually gonna be more exciting for you. You might add a new feature. You might invert the text. You might change the language, whatever you wanna do. So hello world. So now we're going to git, I think everything is added. So let's just git commit. Changes not staged for commit. Yep, okay, we're gonna have to add that. So git add /hello git commit and got, oh, I wanted to put it up here. Okay, got with, sorry, I can't spell for the life of me, word got experimental with words. All right, escape, colon, right quit, enter. So we committed, we're going to push. And this is not going to our master branch, so it might go to a different branch. So let's just say push. Yeah, okay. So git push, I think it's add. Let me pause here for a sec. Let me just show you what I was actually doing instead of pausing and hiding. So I am just looking it up on Stack Overflow. I forgot how to do it. This is how to push to a new branch that you created to the remote branch. So this is short for setup stream. Let me just copy and paste. We can put it right here Git push origin. It might ask for something else because we're not using origin, we're using master. Let's just push to experimental. Fatal, could not read from remote repository. Okay. Master. Git push dash u. Oh, maybe it's hello. Okay. There we go. All right. So that is the name. Experimental to experimental. Created in a new branch. That is what I'm doing. That is what I am doing. If I forgot something, best believe I Googled it. Okay. Because it's hard to remember everything. So now our hello text file with hello world is reflected in our branch that is not our main branch. So if you can see, we now have a new experimental branch. We're in the hello world or the hello text file, and it just says hello. That might be a mistake, you think, right? But no, we did not update the master branch, which is the branch we're viewing. If we switch to experimental branch, boom, hello world, okay? I'm just gonna show you what happens when you switch back to your master branch. It'll open up, yeah, if I just double click that. So we got hello world, right? And we got a terminal right here. So I'm gonna check out the master. So git check out master. And we switch to the master branch, and now our hello file also updated. So you can see that right here. Hello is now does not have hello world, okay? So what you can do to merge, so this next command is called merge, and there's a couple ways to do it, but we're just gonna do a straight up merge. So for a merge to, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the experimental branch, which is not checked out. We are not in the checked out experimental branch. We're in the master branch, which is checked out. We're gonna take the experimental branch and put all the changes into the master branch, and that is called a merge. Okay, there is something else called a merge rebase, which does the opposite. It would put the master branch into into the experimental branch, even though the master branch might be behind it. We're not going to do that. We're going to do the just straight up merge. Okay, git merge experimental. Okay, and right here, so we have a insertion and deletion in the hello.txt. So this is a change, right? So we're gonna have to commit this change because sometimes you might not want to have done that. We're gonna commit, and then we're gonna push. Okay. And let's see if that reflected in our code. Yep. So hello world. Let's just do a little git status. All right. On branch master. So we're on the master branch, and we have the experimental branch changes. Okay, so that's good. That worked. So that's how you're going to be working with your code. One tip I would suggest, you don't need many branches. It's kind of fun at first, but when you start realizing the issues down the line that can create when merging things, especially if it's just you, or you're working with a lot of people and it's all your first time using Git, maybe stick to like one branch, maybe 2 branches. This just makes it easier because it's mostly for people who are doing features or really complicated Git repositories, but you might get there. This is just the intro. There's so much more to Git. And I'm just going to start right now with some cool repositories. We're just going to end it off. Some cool repos that I love. GitHub is my favorite social media. Okay, so here's one that I like. It's called Gardens of Sunshine, and it's a video game that was in Adventure Time, and it's coded in C++, and you can actually do a lot with it because there's standardized libraries for C++ for game development, and it was using the keyboard. And you can actually fork a repository. Forking means you're taking it from this person's remote and adding it to your own remote. So instead of pushing it to this person's remote, you're pushing it to your own remote. And that means you can change it however you like, especially because it's open source, and depending on the license, it can be changed by anyone forever, okay? That is one of the benefits of GitHub. You can see everyone's code and you can make it your own. You can't keep it. You got to give credit, but you can change it and you can make it special for your needs. And you can, in this case, add controller support, which is really fun. This is another one called Resemblizer by the Resemble AI team. So what this is doing is you can do some really cool machine learning, Python machine learning with speech and speech detection. And there's also, I think this might not be the repository that does the cloning, but them or someone else has a repository that can clone voices for like deepfake type stuff. That's crazy, okay? Just so crazy. So you can literally just like Google, whoops, I signed in. I think I logged out sometime to show you that page, and it doesn't recognize that I'm logged in. But you can look up voice cloning, and that's like another repository that's like open on GitHub. Another one that I really like that I think you guys are going to think are really cool is this is an open source API for Canvas. Yep, Canvas, like Instructure, like where all your classes are. I don't know the limits of this, but I was looking at it the other day and it seems really fun. Maybe you can scrape Canvas data to see when your tests are due or stuff like that. I just think it would be cool to see if you can make a program that interfaces with Canvas to make it easier. Just wanted to push that. Here's a Minecraft mod. So this is another really cool thing that I really liked. I enjoyed Minecraft, and I was also learning to become a computer engineer, and those overlap. I really did not understand that there were people just out there making stuff and it was on the internet and anyone could participate. You know, that's another really cool thing. So this is a mod for Minecraft, and this is where everything happens. You know, you can help. You know, that's just a really cool thing. This is another awesome thing. This is for another passion of mine, retro games. So the IS Nitro emulator is actually the dev kit, is an emulator for the dev kit for the original Nintendo DS. Okay, you can actually make this. This is a whole other, you know, lesson in itself, but you can follow their README. This is what the README is for, right? This is what they're doing and how to start it, and if you know enough, how to contribute. You know, let's just skip over to the next one. Spleeter by Deezer. This is a website you can do. I think it's called music.ml maybe. No, it's something else, but there's a website out there that uses this code and can take the instruments out of a song. So it can do this. It can split a song that's already been post-processed into stems, and it's very fun and useful if you make music. Or you want to take the audio from a TV show, perhaps, to clone in the voice cloner. Combo. And this is also one of my favorite repos. I use it so much. I love making music. This is called Watson Beat, and it uses Watson API, which is IBM's machine learning, artificial intelligence, to make music. It gives an input MIDI. MIDI is a file that it's almost like a music file. It doesn't have everything that you would need, but it's got the notes and the intensities and the pitches and the positions, and it can create a whole song in like a minute. All you have to do is just you just clone it, and you can make it and build it, and it's just really cool. So let's go take our file, our hello.txt, and let's just say that let's go to our master branch. Whoops. Oh my gosh, I did it again. Master. Let's just say that we're not who we are. We're not Clayton Sulby, and we're looking at this branch like we just looked at these other ones, okay? So we would want to contribute to this. So we're going to open up our, let's just do this. Open up our folder Explorer. Let's get out of this file. Let's pretend that we're not who we are. We're going to create, let's say, oh, I want to do the hello project. I want to contribute to that. Hello. Navigate in here. You know what? Let's actually, we can just leave it right there. So if we go to the terminal, what we want to do if we want to contribute to this project, let's say we want to use this project and we can worry about contributing to it later. So we're going to go cd to our the folder that we want. I'm just going to do what I did earlier. You can do this too. So if you do 2 dots, that just goes back. So now we're in the projects folder, which is this, and see projects ls. We can cd ./hello. That's the folder we just created. And what you want to do now is git clone, and the same link right here. You just copy that, and now it's cloned. And if we go into this folder, this is the name of the repo. I just added another folder to make it easier. And here we have it. So this is the master branch. So this is the main branch. So what you'd want to do is merge the remote main branch into the remote master branch. Don't worry, if you just ignored that readme step in the beginning, you wouldn't have to worry about that. But yeah, so that's about it. I hope you guys use Git. It's really fun. This went a little bit over. Don't worry, we'll fit it into 30 minutes. And yeah, have a great day.